The Galactic Federation was in chaos. The Zorathians, a powerful alien race known for their advanced technology and strict hierarchical society, had just announced an unprecedented request. Their king's daughter, Princess Lyrina, was to choose a mate from among the ranks of the human defense force. The announcement sent shockwaves across the galaxy. Humans, a relatively new species in the interstellar community, were considered primitive by many. Yet, the Zorathians had taken an inexplicable interest in them. The human defense force scrambled to assemble their finest soldiers for the selection process. Among them was Sergeant Marcus Hale, a battle-hardened veteran with a reputation for bravery and ingenuity. Marcus wasn't thrilled about the idea of being paraded like a prize stallion, but orders were orders. He stood in formation with 100 other soldiers on the Zorathian flagship, a massive vessel that gleamed like polished obsidian. Princess Lyrina entered the hall with an entourage of guards and advisors. She was unlike any alien Marcus had ever seen. Her skin shimmered with a faint iridescence, and her hair flowed like liquid silver. Her eyes, a deep violet, scanned the room with an intensity that made even the most hardened soldiers shift uncomfortably. The selection process was swift. Lyrina walked down the line of soldiers, her gaze lingering on each for a moment before moving on. When she reached Marcus, she stopped. Her eyes locked onto his, and for a moment, the world seemed to stand still. She tilted her head, studying him with a curious expression. "You," she said, her voice melodic yet commanding. "Step forward." Marcus obeyed, stepping out of formation. The other soldiers exchanged glances, some relieved, others envious. Lyrina circled him, her movements graceful and deliberate. She reached out, her slender fingers brushing against his arm. Marcus tensed but held his ground. "Why him?" one of the Zorathian advisors asked, clearly skeptical. Lyrina turned to the advisor, her expression firm. "I sense something in him. A strength, a resilience that is rare. He will be my mate." The advisor frowned but said nothing. Marcus, however, couldn't stay silent. "With all due respect, Princess, I'm a soldier, not a diplomat. I don't know the first thing about being a mate to an alien princess." Lyrina smiled, a hint of amusement in her eyes. "You will learn, Marcus Hale. And I believe you will excel." The days that followed were a whirlwind of activity. Marcus was whisked away to the Zorathian capital, a sprawling city of towering spires and glowing pathways. He was given quarters fit for royalty, though he felt out of place amidst the opulence. Lyrina visited him often, eager to learn more about him and his species. "Tell me about Earth," she said one evening as they sat in his quarters. The room was bathed in the soft glow of the city outside. Marcus hesitated, unsure where to begin. "Earth is diverse. We have vast oceans, towering mountains, and sprawling cities. But it's also fragile. We've made mistakes, caused harm to our planet and each other. But we're trying to do better." Lyrina listened intently, her violet eyes reflecting the light. "Your honesty is refreshing. Many would have painted a more flattering picture." "I'm not here to impress you," Marcus said, though he couldn't deny that he was starting to admire her. "I'm here because I was chosen. But I don't understand why." Lyrina leaned closer, her voice soft. "The Zorathians value strength, but not just physical strength. We value integrity, courage, and the ability to adapt. You possess these qualities, Marcus. And there is something else. A connection I cannot explain." Marcus frowned. "A connection?" She nodded. "It is rare, but sometimes two souls resonate across the stars. When I saw you, I felt it. And I believe you felt it too." Marcus thought back to the moment their eyes had met. There had been something, a spark he couldn't quite explain. But he had dismissed it as nerves. Now he wasn't so sure. As the days turned into weeks, Marcus and Lyrina grew closer. She introduced him to Zorathian culture, teaching him their customs and traditions. In return, he shared stories of Earth, of his family, and of the battles he had fought. They found common ground in their love for their people and their desire for peace. But not everyone was pleased with their union. The Zorathian elite viewed humans as inferior, and many saw Lyrina's choice as a betrayal of their heritage. Rumors of dissent spread, and Marcus could feel the tension in the air. One night, as they walked through the palace gardens, Lyrina stopped and turned to him. "Marcus, there is something I must tell you. There are those among my people who do not approve of our union. They may try to interfere." Marcus's jaw tightened. "Let them try. I'm not going anywhere." Lyrina smiled, but there was sadness in her eyes. "Your bravery is one of the things I admire most about you. But I fear for your safety. If anything were to happen to you, I can take care of myself," Marcus said firmly. "And I'll protect you too if it comes to that." Lyrina reached up, her hand resting against his cheek. "You are unlike anyone I have ever known, Marcus Hale. And I am grateful for that." The threat became reality sooner than they expected. A faction of Zorathian extremists launched an attack on the palace, intent on removing Marcus and restoring what they saw as the natural order. Marcus and Lyrina were caught off guard, but Marcus's training kicked in. He fought alongside the palace guards, using his knowledge of guerrilla tactics to outmaneuver the attackers. In the heat of battle, Marcus found himself face to face with the leader of the extremists, a towering Zorathian with a scar across his face. "You do not belong here, human," the leader snarled. "This is your end." Marcus tightened his grip on his weapon. "I'm not going anywhere." The two clashed, their fight fierce and unrelenting. Marcus was outmatched in size and strength, but he used his agility and cunning to hold his own. Just as the leader gained the upper hand, Lyrina appeared, her eyes blazing with fury. She unleashed a burst of energy that sent the leader crashing to the ground. "Enough!" she commanded, her voice echoing with authority. "This ends now." The remaining extremists, seeing their leader defeated, quickly surrendered. The palace was secured, but the cost was high. Many had been injured, and the once pristine halls were now scarred by battle. In the aftermath, Lyrina addressed her people. She stood before them, Marcus at her side, and spoke of unity and the need to embrace change. "We cannot cling to the past if we wish to move forward. Marcus Hale has proven his worth, not just as a warrior, but as a partner. Together, we will build a future that honors our traditions while embracing the possibilities of the stars." Her words resonated with many, and though there were still those who opposed their union, the majority began to accept Marcus as one of their own. Over time, he and Lyrina worked together to strengthen the bond between their species, forging alliances and fostering understanding.